Yeah, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? Hope y'all having a lovely Friday out there. Shout out to the brother of the Real Marlo TV. I wanted to touch on a topic that he spoke about recently, and this is something that we talked about as well. But I wanted to dive a little bit deeper and then also add to it. So he made a video in regard to Terence Crawford's chin being put to the test versus ERROL Spence. And I think that couldn't be any more true. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford's chin will definitely be tested more than it's ever been. And I also think that ERROL Spence's chin will be tested as well, even though I think that, you know, we've seen ERROL Spence be hit by bigger guys, stronger guys, in my opinion, Kell Brook, your Dennis Ugas. We've seen him be in a ring with bigger guys, strong guys. But as far as if you look at the numbers, Terence Crawford has knocked out every opponent at 147. So on paper, he's the harder puncher. And so I definitely believe that he will test ERROL Spence's chin. Now, it could be a situation where he hit ERROL Spence and it's like, you know, Earl eat them hoes. It's nothing because he's been hit by bigger guys before. Or it could be a situation where Terence Crawford's power really is really like that. And, you know, ERROL Spence has to overcome some adversity in the fight. But I think for sure, that's still a question with ERROL Spence as far as like whether or not Terence Crawford is going to test his chin. I think for sure we're going to see Terence Crawford's chin be tested in this fight. Another thing is we're going to see Terence Crawford's stamina and his conditioning be pushed to the limit. The chin aspect of it, this ERROL Spence is for sure gonna be the bigger, stronger guy that Terence Crawford has ever been in the ring with. I don't think that's a question at all. And I think ERROL Spence is gonna be the hardest puncher that Terence Crawford ever been in the ring with, pound for pound, in any division that he's ever faced. I think ERROL Spence is gonna be clearly the stronger, more powerful puncher. And of course, I think both guys are the most skilled fighters that each would have been in the ring with up until this point. You know, but I think ERROL Spence is going to make Terence Crawford throw more punches than he ever threw in his life, ever threw in his career. He going to make Terence Crawford fight when he don't want to fight. There won't be many fill-out moments where Terence Crawford has an opportunity to just think and set shit up and just, you know, control the pace of the fight. He won't have many of those moments. And in order for him to offset what ERROL Spence is doing, as I stated many times before, he has to hurt ERROL Spence. You dig what I'm saying? So that's the aspect of ERROL Spence being tested with Terence Crawford's power. But Terence Crawford will indeed have to throw more punches than he ever threw in order to keep up with the work rate and the pressure of ERROL Spence, the strength, the punch variation that accompanies that pressure, and so that's going to put pressure on his stamina. His conditioning is going to be pushed to the limit. I don't think we ever seen Terence Crawford have to fight when he don't want to fight, and for a extended period of time. Everybody say, you know, Terence Crawford, he got great stamina, always in shape, and that's true. He always in shape. We never really seen him tired, but he never been in there with a machine. That's somebody that's going to grind every round and make you work, make you have to throw punches, make you have to move when you don't want to move. Terence Crawford's stamina, which is probably going to be even more important than his punch resistance, because as your stamina and conditioning dwindles, your punch resistance starts to dwindle as well. That's why Jose Benavidez got stopped by Terence Crawford. He went all 12 rounds, but he ain't had no gas tank. He got tired in the last round and got beat up. You know what I'm saying? He got hit with some shit that he couldn't fucking defend because he didn't have no stamina. With Terence Crawford, I think he's going to be pushed to the limit, bro. He's going to be pushed to a level that we never really seen him be in before. And I think once those shots start to build up on Terence Crawford to the head and to the body, we're going to learn a lot about Terence Crawford in this fight. We're going to learn about his punch resistance. Is it on this elite level versus a guy like ERROL Spence? and his stamina. Can he really fight throughout 12 rounds where he's being forced to move and being forced to throw punches and being forced to have a firefight, not when he wants to, but when he has to? I think we're going to learn a lot about Terence Crawford in this fight. And I just wanted to put that on y'all mind. Like, think about that. Terence Crawford is about to fight a guy who's bigger and stronger than anybody he's faced in his division. And then on top of that, he's fighting a guy who has thrown over 1,000 punches in multiple fights. He's capable of throwing 70 punches in a round. With Terence Crawford being primarily a counter puncher, somebody who, you know, who likes to set stuff up behind the counter and wait on you. Of course, we've seen Terence Crawford be first, but when he wants to be first, what happens when he's forced to exchange? And not just for a couple of rounds, not just when he figured his opponent out and he switched southpaw, not when he feel like, oh, I got you now, you can't hurt me, I'm finna whoop your ass, not when you hit him with a good shot and oh, I want to get my lick back. What happens when Terence Crawford has to keep up that punch output? And if Errol Spence can sustain those shots and he playing good defense, what happens when the fight gets to the later rounds, 8, 9, 10, and it's a war? Can Terence Crawford stand up to that? Will he have the conditioning to stand up to that? Can he sustain those shots, the punishment, the accumulation of ass whooping that's going to be dished out to him by Errol Spence? You know what I'm saying? Y'all see how Errol Spence looking right now. The man cut up like a bag of dope. Looking phenomenal, looking spectacular, looking like Bruce Leroy. You dig what I'm saying? You know he gonna be in shape. You know he gonna be strong. And you know he gonna have everything that he needs to push Terence Crawford to the limit. It's all gonna be, the question gonna be, can Terence Crawford rise to the occasion? Like he normally does. You know what I'm saying? Can Terence Crawford overcome that? I think if anybody gonna have to make adjustments in this fight, it's gonna be Terence Crawford. Errol Spence ain't gotta make too many adjustments. Number one, stylistically, I think he has an advantage in this fight. On top of that, he has Derrick James, who is going to formulate a great game plan for Errol Spence that he most likely will not have to deviate from. If anybody gonna have to make adjustments in this fight, it's gonna be Terence Crawford. But there will be subtle adjustments that and tweaks round by round from Derrick James and Errol Spence. But the question is, can Terence Crawford withstand what's about to come to him on July 29th? I think he's going to be pushed to the limit in every aspect. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holler at y'all boys, man.